What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the Bitcoin Thursdays with Dr. J. I'm Dr. J and I'm here in lovely El Salvador. What you see behind me is, we are in my office here in El Salvador. It's a beautiful office and there are birds singing in the trees. It's lush, it's tropical, it's paradise. And yesterday in this paradise, exactly at 3:28 p.m. local time, within the quiet heartbeat of the BTC Bitcoin blockchain world, Private Key Capital, Private Key Credit Union completed the world's first native on-chain banking transaction. We deposited money, Bitcoin, directly into a Bitcoin credit union, the first of its kind to go live. This is both monumental and historic in many ways that our little team here, our Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, is achieving something that is quite the landmark. I literally took my Exodus wallet and transmitted $50 in Bitcoin from my Exodus wallet across all borders directly into the Private Key Credit Union wallet, which is a distributed treasury vault, a multi-signature spanning 3 continents, El Salvador, West Palm Beach, and a cold node orbiting somewhere in the encrypted world around the planet. So the cloud runs our node. The node is the beating heartbeat of this bank. And there were no intermediaries. There was no SWIFT. There was no fallback. There was no fanfare. That comes later. Just Bitcoin, divided by physics, validated by time. I could send $50 or $500,000 in an instant directly into a wallet that we created, a multi-sig distributed treasury wallet that no one else has. This is huge. This is huge because this, in many ways, my friends, is sound money taking its first honest breath. It is not a small accomplishment. And there's a lot of people to thank for what we have been able to accomplish. Of course, God comes to mind first, so nothing happens without God's grace and a great deal of gratitude that goes there. But now think about it. In the 15 short years from Satoshi and the lineage of the OG Bitcoin warriors, and our own Ben, Bitcoin Ben is definitely one of those OGs who fearlessly flew into the battlefield with the Bitcoin flag on his shoulder many years ago. And of course, the country of El Salvador. This little country is the smallest of countries. And yet, it has the greatest of visions. A nation of approximately 6 million souls It has allowed us to accomplish something that no G7 nation dared even attempt. They have allowed us to move the foundation of banking into Bitcoin, into Truth Ledger. The laws, their sovereignty, their leadership with President Bukele. It's the only country in the world which has the banking regulatory structure that allows a regulated credit union to actually custody Bitcoin as a native asset. Think about it. The other countries, this is the leadership country. The other countries are going to learn from this experience. And hopefully, as other countries pass laws where banks can take Bitcoin and keep Bitcoin as native deposits, El Salvador will be leading the way. So we are grateful for President Bukele. We're grateful for the opportunity this country has given us to thrive. And of course, a huge round of applause to our development team, Ed, JP, Bruno, Andreas, and the rest of the team. We got these developers have been working around the clock. I mean, they're tireless, passionate, driven, committed. I mean, I couldn't use enough accolades to tell you what this team is doing. And this little team of 9 people has accomplished what many of the biggest, most well-funded teams around the world have not been able to do. And their success is our success. This is truly. And of course, last but not least, every member of our Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club is to be thanked, because it is your passion, your being club members, your investing in us, that has allowed us to literally do the world's first Bitcoin banking transaction. The ledger is integrated. Just like you have a normal statement, you're going to get a statement with, here's your fiat, here's your Bitcoin. The world's first hybrid credit union, where you can keep 2 classes of assets. It doesn't exist. And last but not least, I would, of course, thank my lovely wife, Clara, and the kids who don't see me most of the weeks as I'm traveling around and doing what we need to do. But this is what it takes. This is what it takes to achieve greatness. This is what I tell our team every day. I said, listen, if you just want to sit around and, get your paycheck and do another piece of code, you can do that. But if you want to achieve greatness, you got to push yourselves. You got to push yourselves hard. Outside your comfort zones, to the limits where you break. Sleep is overrated. But then you can achieve greatness, and you go down as a pioneer in that long lineage of great people who have built Bitcoin what it is today, and we will take it forward from here. Let me show you a couple of pictures. Sherpa, if you're around, if you could show me a couple of these pictures that I took yesterday when we did this historic transaction. Now, that's 3:28 p.m. in the afternoon. We're running, as you can see, 2 computers here. I'm running a node on one of them. We actually run our entire Bitcoin node ourselves natively within our secure environment. And trust me when I tell you it's a secure environment. So we are actually looking at the transaction at a code level on the left computer. On the right computer is where the wallet is receiving the $50. And the phone that I'm holding in my hand has the Exodus wallet, and I'm transmitting the money. We're actually seeing how it goes through and seeing how it deposits and tracking all of it. So that's the first picture at 3:28 p.m. yesterday, local time, where we successfully completed the first Bitcoin transaction into a regulated banking treasury wallet. Show me the next picture, please. And here's the team, guys. So that's Bruno on the left. Andreas is on the screen. He was in our development center and running some of the nodes from there. We have Ed, we have JP, and myself, of course. And so Ed and JP are leading this charge as architects, as designers, as dreamers, as the passionate visionaries who are creating the code. And by the way, we own the code. We run the code. It's 100% ours. And we have filed a patent for the world's first distributed treasury already. It's patent pending. Show me the next slide of the transaction. Here is a screenshot of my phone where we actually sent $50 first into our private key wallet. And from the private key wallet, I then sent another $10 at 3:33, about 5 minutes later, out of the wallet. So we were testing both the incoming functionality and the outgoing functionality, and both worked flawlessly. It was effortless. It was unbelievable. And then the last picture, please. And here's a picture. We just got our signage put up. This is the credit union building where I am right now, where we are housed. Beautiful sky behind. We just got the lettering done, Private Key Capital. It glows at night. It looks beautiful. So that's our humble beginning. That's our credit union. And soon we will be spreading the credit union across countries and across cities, both in the United States and other places. So it's a great start. I mean, you talk about skunk works and you talk about building a company out of a garage. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at it. This is happening in real time. Now, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sherpa, for putting those pictures up. I hope you guys are getting a sense of the excitement, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride for our country, for our club, and our sense of the excitement for the future. What this is monumental. You know, it opens up the door. Once you have this wallet, we can now have yield generating products. We can have credit products. We can have digital loan products. I mean, there's so many aspects of this that are enabled by this underlying architecture and framework that I will talk about more at length. But, you know, really, before I do that, in cultural terms, this marks a nation reclaiming the narrative. See, the narrative till now is always controlled by the Federal Reserve or the Bank of International Settlements in Brussels, or the Federal Reserve and all of the world banking stuff. This changes everything. Culturally, it truly reclaims the narrative back at the local level, right? It at the country level, at the people level, at the sovereignty level. Now, in technical terms, this accomplishment means that we become the world's first regulated financial institution with a Bitcoin ledger that runs on truth, not on the opinions of 12 guys sitting in gray suits around a Federal Reserve table. Think about it. It breaks us out of that control structure. And this is about freedom. And of course, in monetary terms, a country like El Salvador, it has seized borrowing credibility from others, and they have started minting it themselves. As these banks, our bank and other banks, I am aware of a couple of other banks in El Salvador that are trying to do the same thing. We just beat them to it. We're good. We are lucky. And we are grateful to God. But we beat them to it. We are in a neck-to-neck race. It seems like there's another bank in El Salvador that will be announcing pretty shortly, but here we are. This economy that was once shackled in the US dollar, now we have architected a system where people hold the keys, literally. No Federal Reserve, no SWIFT, no vault, no armed guards standing outside. Only math and cryptography and a promise which is etched in time forever on that blockchain. That's it. This kingdom of freedom is built on a sea of mathematical uncertainty. And that, my dear friends, is the purest and truest form of freedom. This freedom comes from your labor. Your labor doesn't go into a social security number. Your labor gets transformed into Bitcoin, something that you can hold. Your value of your labor The value of your work is then coded into a mathematical form which lives forever, and that no one can take away from you, that you can transport anywhere that you want on the planet without anyone being able to stop you. And you can use it and you can unleash the power of that labor, which is called Bitcoin, the potential energy, the thermodynamic explosion that has just happened. And you can unleash that into credit. You can unleash that into so many different ways to create wealth. And that gives you sovereignty. This transaction didn't just settle $50, it anchored sovereignty. Welcome to the world of on-chain banking. And honestly, welcome to the next chapter of civilization. I'm going to take a quick commercial break here, Sherpa, and I'll come back and I'm going to tell you more about the architecture and why what we have done is so different, so unique, that it is going to be amazing for you to be a part of it. Be right back.
For years, banks promised innovation, but they gave us fees and friction and fine prints. Today, all that changes. Introducing Private Key Bank from Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, the world's first Bitcoin native credit union. Rebuilt from the ground up in the heart of El Salvador, a place where your Bitcoin isn't just stored, it grows. Earn 4% interest paid in Bitcoin, compounded, secured, and accessible. No middlemen, no hidden games, just your money working for you. Send funds across borders instantly, without SWIFT codes, without currency conversions. Pay anyone, anywhere, with a tap of a finger. This isn't banking as usual. This is freedom, beautifully engineered. The future of finance is finally here.
And welcome back to the Bitcoin Thursdays with Dr. J. I'm Dr. J. So the node, my friends, is the beating heart of the bank. It's revolutionary in its architecture. We actually run our own node, which then talks to the rest of the Bitcoin network around the world. But when our bank does settlements, our node actually settles it. It verifies it. It does the hash functions, all of it. All right. So this is a revolutionary architecture difference. And it's a mindset that will not come from the big banks. The big banks cannot be relied on, never have been relied on for innovation. Innovation will come from people like us who are thinking differently, who are not bred in chains. We can think in freedom, right? So how does this architecture differ? In a legacy banking system, the ledger is centralized. Transactions happen, it's updated later, it reconciles overnight, or sometimes even in 2 to 3 days. It's always playing catch up with the truth. Of course, you can imagine when you have that system, it is, of course, prone to alterations. It's prone to theft. It's prone to manipulation because it's not real time. And there are no checks and balances if someone was to go and erase a couple of transactions before the settlement happens. Our system is native to Bitcoin base layer. When we did that transaction yesterday, no, folks, it wasn't a Lightning wallet. That would be the easy way to do it. I didn't want that. I did it on chain. I told my developers it's going to take more time, but that's the most secure system. I don't want a Lightning settlement right now. We'll support Lightning down the road. But right now, when people put their Bitcoin, their hard-earned money, their hard-earned wealth, their labor converted into digital energy in its purest form, that is going to be settled on chain. Our node is entirely SegWit, quantum resistant. If you have a really old address, it's not going to support it. BC1Q, I need BC1Q addresses, right? So we have created a base layer that is native to Bitcoin. Each account is represented by unique, deterministic, multi-sig wallet, controlled only by 2 people. That's what I call a distributed treasury with a dead man switch. This architecture does not exist in the world right now. So what we do is our wallet, each person has a deterministic multi-sig wallet controlled by the member, which is you, your keys. You always have your key to your vault. And we, the bank, have it, and there is no third party ever. Not Exodus has that. Not any other system that you use. They usually, even Fireblocks, Salt Lending, all of these guys, they have at least 3 keys because that third party is always keeping your 12 words. We build a system where your 12 words, only you have it. No one else on the planet. It's not recorded on the node. It's not recorded in the software. It is not recorded by Fireblocks. It's not recorded by anybody, which is good and bad. I'll tell you why it's good. It's bad because if you lose it, you lose your money. But you already knew that. That's what sovereign money is. You are the bank. Your keys, your wallet, your money. Normally when people say, oh, I'm safe, my money's in the bank, they're wrong on all 3 counts. It's not money, it's not a bank, and it's not yours. So let's dispel through that delusion that people have. In our wallet, you control the keys, and we have a master key, 2 keys. If anything ever happens in El Salvador, or if anything ever happens to the bank, your key, you can still take your money out. You can still take your Bitcoin out. Not like the Lehman Brothers, where I custodied money and the Lehman Brothers executives didn't know how to run their own company and took my money with it and yours, right? So this is very, very important you understand. We have built a base layer system on chain with all of the security and encryption and strength of the Bitcoin blockchain network. Sure, it'll take a little bit longer to do a transaction. I don't care. I want that transaction to be secure. When we start, paying for Bitcoin for coffee, we'll get into Lightning networks. Right now, on chain. Number 2, there is no reconciliation. Every bank you go to, we got to get a reconciliation report. Folks, we reconcile in real time because the blockchain is the ledger. Every transaction is time-stamped, it's verified, and it's final, and it's written into the blockchain. There is no T+3 settlement. There is no, our computers will run tonight at midnight and update your passbook tomorrow morning. Doesn't exist. It's real time. It's the truth ledger. The blockchain of Bitcoin is the ledger of the bank. Think about it. This is absolutely revolutionary. We didn't just use the bank that uses Bitcoin. We built a bank that is Bitcoin. This is the revolution. Because native, truly having a bank and having a structure that allows every transaction to be recorded with absolute transparency and absolute privacy. Whoa, that has never been done before. How does that work? How do you balance transparency with privacy. We use a dual layer system. The asset movement occurs on chain. The compliance exists off chain. So I was able to separate architecturally the movement of the Bitcoin itself from one wallet to another, the storage, the yield, the loans, all that. All of the asset stays on chain. The compliance, the privacy aspect is off chain. And so this is something what we call the zero knowledge proof. And what this allows us to do, it allows us to do a proof of reserve audits where regulators, the banking regulators, can confirm the solvency of the bank without ever having to view any single user's balance or wallet. Because the system looks across thousands and thousands of wallets. Each one, this has 0.2 Bitcoin, this has 2 Bitcoin, this has 5 Bitcoin, this has 10 Bitcoin. The auditors never need to know which wallet has how much. Our system does a zero knowledge proof where it combines and confirms the solvency of the bank across all the wallets cumulatively taken. And this is the holy grail of finance. Transparent integrity with private custody. Your privacy is always maintained. And yet the regulators over here can transparently see how much reserve there is in the bank, and they can sign off their little documents and go off and say, great, the bank is solvent. This secret lies in that separation. The blockchain records the movement of the Bitcoin, but not the identity behind it. Compliance happens off-chain. Ownership happens on-chain. We obey the law without surrendering any of our liberties. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? So based on this thought, now again, just you have to start to see, it's kind of like the Neo and the Matrix thing. See, this idea, this thought is going to take years for the traditional Bank of America and the Wells Fargos to even comprehend this. This is why we have filed a patent. It's a patent called the Architecture for Client-Paired Two-Key Distributed Treasury Protocol without the need for centralized wallet. Lots of words. I'm going to break it down for you. So normally in a bank, you have Vostra accounts and Nostra accounts. So when you put in your Bitcoin or you put in your dollars, your account actually doesn't have anything in it. It doesn't have any assets. It's just an Excel spreadsheet which you look on your computer, on your phone, and you say, oh, I got $20,000 in my account. I feel so good. I feel good. It's just a number on a screen. Nothing more than that. There's no money in it. Sorry to break the bubble for those who are not aware of that fact. The money actually sits in a separate treasury account of the bank. One single account from which they loan and they do all kinds of things. Package them up, sell collateralized debt obligations, make Wall Street happy, do a lot of transactions, make money, right? In our architecture, the custody of the actual asset, which is what? Bitcoin. Yep. Is independent amongst all the custodians. Your key, your wallet. We use something called the HD derived keys, which is hierarchical deterministic keys. These are based on Bitcoin, international Bitcoin framework. So it comes from documents that set the standards for it. And so we use the HD derived keys, and the construction of the actual transaction is done something called PSBT, which is partially secure Bitcoin transaction. So where multiple keys lock in together, it's verified and broadcast into our own node. Our node then goes into the SHA-256 algorithm unencrypts all of it, and comes out with the result of transferring money from one block to another, right? From one wallet to another. And this is verified on chain with Merkle proofs of reserve, what are called Merkle proofs. So whenever we are executing a transaction, whether it's withdrawal of an amount or we are depositing an amount, we use a standard called PSBT. So basically the member node, which is our node, creates the PSBT and adds the signature, your signature. The credit union node that reviews and signs off on it. Then we go to a second secret hidden node that we run as well, which second verifies it. And all of the transaction gets settled in real time within our node. The node, we run a complete Bitcoin node ourselves. And when the quorum is done, the transaction gets written into the global Bitcoin blockchain. And what this means is that the private key is never ever centralized. It's never ever transmitted, and it's never ever compromised. The private key capital credit union does all of this. We have coded all of this, hundreds of thousands of lines of code. And PSBT becomes the messenger. It's kind of like a digital briefcase, which is passed down in the hands of trusted hands, and the deal is sealed. And once it's sealed and verified with the only two keys that we have, yours and ours, it gets written into the blockchain for the world to see. And the distributed, what we call the kernel proof of reserve, you can actually see that. As the bank, I can see it at any instant of time. I can tell you exactly that I have 50 Bitcoin or 100 Bitcoin or 2,000 Bitcoin sitting in the bank's vaults. But the bank's vault doesn't exist. It's 1,000 little vaults, each one owned by the owner. So this absence of an omnibus treasury ensures that the aggregate balance across all the wallets equals the institutional total of the reserves, which is observable on chain. Anyone in the world, any auditor in the world, any regulator in the world can go and see that. So we were able to make transparency honest without making privacy extinct. What an incredible concept. And so what truly separates us, our private key credit union, from the crypto banks that you hear about is that most crypto banks are just wrappers. They basically custody your Bitcoin and they just give you an IOU. We never hold your keys. You are co-signing everything in that multi-signature. See, even when many of you have done the lending, you know, whether it's with Salt or Layton or anybody else, you don't hold the keys. Those are not banks. They're not regulated the way we are. They'll just take your Bitcoin, keep it in a secure place, or at least they tell you, and then give you an IOU with a little piece of paper. We do no such thing. We give you you have your own keys. You actually generate your own keys. Okay? So in the event everything else vanishes tomorrow, your Bitcoin remains yours. This is real sovereign banking. So the way I talked briefly about the dead man switch. So what is a dead man switch? And some of you have probably heard of this term when McAfee used to talk about that 38 terabytes of information, you know, that was going to get released. Dead man switch is essentially an architecture that we have incorporated. That's not something we discovered. It's something that has existed in the world of cryptography and other places. Dead man switch doesn't mean that my heart has to stop beating, even though there are ways to connect heartbeat meters to systems that if the heartbeat stops, you know, the system won't or will release or won't release the money, right? So there are ways to do that. But a dead man switch really is a virtual heartbeat. And what that means is that I, as the holder of the master key, let's say every week at 12 p.m. on a Sunday, every week, I assume a time, that I'm going to update a encrypted passkey on multiple public sites, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or Google, or wherever else, social media, it doesn't matter. Public sites, multiple public sites, I update a encrypted key. The system, the node that runs all of the Bitcoin transaction goes every Sunday and checks if the new key has come in. And if the new key does not come in, it does something. If the new key comes in, it matches, it continues to operate normally. In our system, when I will publish the private key, the secret code that our node will read on chain, somewhere online in the world, because no one else can do anything with it. It's entirely just an encrypted set of numbers. But our node knows how to decrypt that. And it'll say, yep, everything is going hunky-dory. Everything is going well. I just keep on running the nodes exactly with the multi-signature architecture like I'm designed to do. But let's say it does not receive that code. Something terrible happens, and I don't update that. Well, then what the key is going to do is it's going to release the master key from the multi-signature, leaving the wallet with only one key, which is yours. Which means you can take out, just like any other wallet, you'll be able to take your Bitcoin and transfer it anywhere on the planet. It'll no longer be held in the bank. So this is a really powerful architecture. It provides cryptographic sovereignty. It provides fault tolerance. It gives you institutional grade availability, and it gives you geopolitical resilience. This system we have designed is designed to survive us. And that, my friends, is the very definition of legacy. Let me take another quick break, and I'm going to tell you the last bit of some more exciting things. There's just so much going on here. Sherpa will break for a quick commercial, and I'll be right back after that, folks.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
All right, and welcome back to the Bitcoin Ben Show. And I'm Jay. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, folks? We build, we invite, and we grow. This distributed treasury, we just did the live transaction. My plan is I'm going to work with the team, but November 15th is where I'm targeting to open up the wallets for all of the members who are already members of the club, of the Private Key Credit Union. I believe we have about 100 people who are already, they've gone through the KYC, they've opened up their traditional banking side of it with the Private Key Credit Union already. They've put their $5,000 deposits in. So they're the first people who will actually receive a link where you will create your own wallet and you will keep your own 12 passkeys, 12 word keys. No one else on the planet will have it. Now, there is something that, and so once you create it, you will be able to deposit your Bitcoin into your own wallet with Private Key Capital. A lot more secure than Exodus, gives the 4% yield, which Exodus doesn't give, or no one else gives, right? And you'll be able to see it anytime you want. So this is really important. By November 15th, we will send out all the information so that you can open your wallet, and it'll be automatically linked to your traditional fiat banking. It's a hybrid banking system. So you have your cash and you have your Bitcoin, and your statement that you receive will show you your cash balances and your Bitcoin balances, right? So this is really great. The first time in financial history that you have this hybrid statement. You earn interest in BTC, all right? 4% paid natively in Bitcoin, no conversion, no IOU, none of this pegged nonsense. Not a wrap Bitcoin, not all this crap. It's just Bitcoin in your wallet. You hold one key, we hold another key. Together, we co-sign the future. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? So this is coming, and obviously for people who have not yet become members, we will open up the doors starting November 15th for people who want to open up their Bitcoin wallets with the credit, with Private Key Capital Credit Union. I will maintain the $5,000 minimum. So even if you're depositing Bitcoin, minimum of $5,000 worth of Bitcoin or more, not less than that. Okay, so that's just the minimum we are holding for now. When we start to roll out the debit card product early next year, credit card product second part of next year, we can certainly open up to perhaps a lower or a smaller threshold. But right now, because of scalability, because of operational experience that needs to be gathered here, I want to make sure that we do these things right. So we're going to open up to the 100. My target is to get to about 500 people in the credit union by December 31st with Bitcoin deposits. That's the target. We already have the first 100 who will be voting members. The next 300-400 that we can get, they will not be voting members, but of course you'll have access to your credit union and to your own money. So that's where we're going to it. The platform is live. Memberships will be open, and you'll see your balance on chain, auditable by anyone and manipulatable by no one. So that's where we are. Let me, in the last few minutes, switch over to something even equally exciting. You know, our resort here in El Salvador is doing great. We are now getting closer and closer to opening it. I don't want to commit to a date yet because a lot of work still needs to be done. But just picture yourself with the Pacific breeze of El Salvador, the scent of salt and coffee in the air, the sound of waves, mingling around with other like-minded Bitcoiners in this absolutely beautiful beach resort. The grand opening will be probably somewhere in January, is what I'm hoping for, but it's going to be amazing. You're going to walk into this resort, your drinks are all priced in sats, and each conversation is going to begin with a possibility. It's going to be this living monument to the new economy. And when you come here and you book your week stay at our resort, you'll be coming to the credit union. You'll meet the people who are behind it. You'll be able to open your account. You'll meet the builders, the miners, the dreamers, the believers who are taking us on this journey of our, human prosperity. So join us for the resort, which will be opening very soon. We have claimed our place in history with the first Bitcoin transaction, and now we will cement it with our private key resort in January, hopefully. So this resort is amazing. I just spent some time yesterday there, and the ocean is so beautiful, and the sunsets are the proof of work of God. It's beautiful. It's just really great. But this is not just about El Salvador, folks. This is just the birthplace. This is where the ideas are being shaped and fine-tuned. But West Palm Beach is coming along beautifully. I've got the keys as of last week. We've got the carpet people coming in and the curtains people coming in, and it's going to be a place you can all be proud of, very proud of. It's going to be our flagship location for the Private Key Capital. Nashville has committed a room for Private Key credit union already. Boston has committed a location. Sarasota has committed a location. So at each one of these locations, we'll have one room, isolated, private, for private key capital, for the credit union side of it. So the Bitcoin Ben Club, where members come, they meet, they talk, that'll all remain as it is, but a separate little area will be carved out in these 3 locations initially, in addition to West Palm Beach. It'll be Sarasota, it'll be Boston, it'll be Nashville. Those are the 3 sites where we will launch our credit union, where you can come in, you can get advice, you can know what, verify, you can deposit your Bitcoins, you can get credit, and so on and so forth. So all of the banking related transactions will happen in that part of the business. So exciting times ahead. So when history, looks back at this week of December 28th, the ledger became law, and money, became honest, and our Bitcoin bank etched out its little transaction that I showed you on that phone on the blockchain. It's written forever. No one can remove it. No one can delete it. It's written in the blockchain now. We did that transaction, and so excited about it. So you're no longer customers. You are co-founders. You're co-builders in this new civilization that'll refuse to kneel at the knees, that'll refuse to bend to centralized authority. This revolution is not going to be televised. It's going to be verified on-chain with mathematics forever. And that's what we are all about. Well, I got to go and spend a little more time with the development team today before I take a flight back home and be in West Palm tomorrow. But I hope you enjoyed this moment as much as I did, because this has been just a great labor of love, and it's just so exciting and rewarding to be able to share this moment with you. We love you guys. Each one of you is a part of this history that we together as members, as a community, with Ben leading the charge and our team doing what it does, you're part of this. You're co-creating this reality, the world, the civilization that we're all going to live in, and our children are going to live in. And that's the legacy we want to leave for them. Freedom. God bless you. God bless America. God bless El Salvador. Over and out.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.